goes. Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 30th of September. Yeah, thinking of my birthday then, sorry. 30th of July. Okay, so, early hint there. Let's have a look at these markets. Firstly, before we look at the technicals, a couple of things just to look at what we've got in store for today. We're having some of the GDP data coming out, the flash GDP data at this moment, and this is proving to be a little bit sticky. Why is it not giving me an immediate? Come on, here we go. Eventually, maybe. Why is this so slow this morning? This is amazingly slow this morning. There we go, Tuesday. Right, so we've got the German inflation out there. Of course we have. It's over six. I think it's 6 readings, but it's over the whole morning. It's not all day actually, but they come out in sort of 30-minute, 45-minute intervals. Anyway, we got that, but we've got the GDP data coming out. It's not seen as so significant, but I would still be wary at 9 o'clock when we get the German data coming out. French data came out higher than expected. Aside of that, then really not too much then. Once we get past inflation, which, as I say, it's an all-day affair, well, an all-morning affair, and we've got US data coming out there, jobs openings. Might see some volatility around those numbers. Right, let's look and see what's going on with these Forex markets. Starting off looking at the euro. So euro, it's a bearish engulfing bar. It popped in there, which is a bit of a continuation buy. If we see the break of the lows there, we'd expect that to continue to the downside. Looking soft as I'm looking at it at the moment. It was looking all sort of, the last bar was green, and I was thinking, well, perhaps it will go up to its daily pivot here, but it suddenly dropped straight away back. Break of the lows, well, might signify further downside. I really don't like it when it consolidates away from the lows here. It becomes less becomes more of a free for all, basically, less reliable. So I'll probably keep away from that this morning. The pound, it's a funny old one, the pound. It managed nearly a complete recovery at one stage yesterday, only to, well, it's dancing around there at the moment. There is an expectation rates will be cut this week, but that pricing must be, say that pricing, but those figures should be fully priced in. We've effectively just popped in and seen a lower high coming through there. It does look softer, obviously with lower highs, lower lows already there. It's whether if it starts pushing back above its pivot there and gets back above its 60-minute 50, well, it could be on for a higher low and something more of a structural change. But at the moment, it's still very much in this downward trend. Okay, on the intermediate side, long side, it's still high, top side it's still high. Yen's given up a bit this week at the moment. It's pushed back up there, the dollar strengthening against it. It's run into its 4-hourly 50 now. It looked yesterday at one stage or another that it might continue rolling through and have a reaction to this weekly pivot this morning. It looked like it anyway, but not to be, and the fact that it's pushed through there, again, quite unreliable when you get into this sort of sideward chop. I'm looking at this at a number of markets, including the one I'm sitting in at the moment, which I'll come on to next, the Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar, it's finding support where it is at the moment. It's struggling. I have got a short position open. Whether I hold it much longer, I should just let it get stopped out if it's going to foul. It was looking half decent, and it did break down there in the early hours of the morning, but not to stay down there, and which, as I say, this consolidation again away from the lows, it did seem to want to go yesterday, and it did go, but not very far. It sort of didn't even make the body lows here. So we'll see. For now, though, it's not one I would go chasing for sure. US dollar CAD. US dollar CAD. Still pushing up there. Now the CAD is the one that's softer. It broke out yesterday, took out the that's the R1 quarterly pivot. It's taken out there. I was looking and hoping it was going to come back towards its weekly pivot for an opportunity, but that was not to be. In fact, everything I was looking at yesterday, none of them set up apart from the Aussie dollar, and that's not behaving or performing particularly well at the moment. This US dollar CAD double topped on the lower time frame here. It's broken the lows between the two highs, which could suggest a bit more of a correction, but looking quite iffy. New Zealand dollar, I don't like going against the trends basically when I say it looks iffy. New Zealand dollar, another one. It has recovered here again. We've sort of gone into sort of some major support levels on the New Zealand dollar, and they're holding at the moment. And we're seeing a bit of a structural change here with a higher low in. Now it's not too dissimilar to the Aussie, and I do wonder if we'll see them both coming up here. They're near previous lows. It's quite a key area into their monthly S3. Not got many days of that left. Oh, is it one or two? US dollar Swissy. I'm trying to remember if there's 31 days in the month. I'm just having a quick look through here. Yes, there is 31 days in the month. So another day or two, and we'll see new pivots. Right. Anyway, Swissy. The Swissy's still in this sort of bigger scale of softening. Originally, I thought we were going to see much more of a softening position. We did see quite a decent move there, but it's corrected itself. Whether the correction is over is really the question here. It seems to be wanting to push ahead for now. It's certainly the last few days been running upwards, but no trade at the moment. It would need to be coming back to the daily pivot. It would need to retrace back to the key moving averages, if not the daily pivot, here to be considering something. We'll see, but for now it's not really doing anything. Cross pairs. Well, at once it was for a while it was looking half decent. They might have gone up further, and then we seen this. We saw a sell-off yesterday, and it's pushed it back down quite a bit, and it's just looking that bit soft again. It has put a higher lows in here. So structurally, it's changed it from this downward trend that we've seen over the last couple of weeks here. And last week, well, it ended up positively, so it had a complete switch there, and it's put a new high in, but it's sort of fouled into that new high straight away and looking soft at the moment. Okay, some of the cross pairs I was looking at was the Euro CAD. Yesterday was looking for the possible long, but it never happened yesterday. In fact, it just kept on coming off when I was looking in the morning, and sold right away off there. It spoiled everything. I was really looking at it from up here, looking for the move from the sort of flaggy price action, but it's failed, so never got into that. Again, structurally, it's not far off of changing a little bit here, but nothing else to go with. It's such a small move, effectively. So I will go through the rest of those Forex cross pairs in the trading room in a short while, but let's go and have a look at the other markets. Dow Jones yesterday didn't quite, it sort of pitched into a new high yesterday. We didn't really make it too much further. Sorry, I'll look at gold and oil in a moment. got my list the other way around at the moment here. It did come down to its weekly pivot, and we might still see the Dow push off from there, but it's sluggish. We've got quite a number of companies reporting, key companies reporting over this week. So this is a wild child. The S&P's similar case here. I mean, it's not done a great deal. It's struggling. It's holding sort of steady into that monthly pivot, but it's then really just consolidating, and if anything, looking a bit on the soft side. But as I say, we've got some major reports coming out, and that could just change on the flick of a button. Yesterday, it certainly looked like it was going to do something more, but then fell back. Sorry, I said fell last week rather, but it was looking better. There we go. Yesterday it was pushing up initially, but come off. We'll see what happens. It's quite a mess on it. Again, you've sort of got the lower marker put in there, and it's come back away from that low. It could go either way. It really is 50-50. Looking at oil. So oil went down. There was a comment on the additional oil that's being produced by the US at the moment, and that's really being seen as one of the reasons oil's coming off as it is. As much as OPEC's doing its best to reduce production, the US isn't, and we're seeing this continuation to the downside, lower highs, lower lows. Quite sticky to get into. Yesterday it's on the report that it changed at 3 o'clock there, breaking down, pushing off. It has now had a couple of days of quite solid sell periods in the afternoons there. So we'll see what happens today. Again, of course, I'm sort of eyeing up the pivot, but if it goes up there today, well, it'll be working from this divergence. Okay, it may just work that divergence off and roll over again, but not looking the prettiest at the moment. Finally gold. Almost finally gold. Pushing, catching a little bounce here. But it's last week really. It's struggling to get back up there today. But it is just again, it's not a market I particularly like. It's a bit second guessing whether it's continuing to the original trending that was starting there. At the moment, it just looks like it's hanging in, and maybe we'll see a break above the weekly pivot and further upside. It's structurally it would need to pass that 50 MA and that previous high for me to think about this as more of a positive market. Okay, so some sticky old ones. Not a lot of setups there at all, which is a bit disappointing, which is not really what you want to see. But we've got to remember there's quite a lot of key data with some central banks. Tomorrow we've got the US central bank, etc. So it's only to be expected. We've got ADP, non-farms, we've got Bank of England, we've got Australian inflation. There's lots of data coming out which we should be aware of. Okay, I shall leave it there. Wish you a great day's trading. Take care. Bye for now.